Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Masters of the Universe Origins figure, Modulok. Now he was always one of my favorite members of the Horde. I like the overall look to him, and I love the fact that you can pull him apart, rearrange him in all sorts of different ways and shapes and what have you. So he was always one of my favorite figures, not only of the Horde, but in the Masters of the Universe line in general. So I was really excited to see when they made him an Origins figure. So with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who's subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And if you're somebody who hasn't subscribed and you watched this video and liked it, please subscribe and also check out my Masters of the Universe playlist. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. So now this figure comes in two boxes. So first off, you have the delivery box here. So this is what he comes from, in basically in the mail. So you got Masters of the Universe here. You got basically a black and white picture there. You know, skews and all that happy stuff. 40 years of of She-Ra. All right, nothing on that side. On this side here, you got the Masters of the Universe logo again. A close-up of his two heads, a little bit extra information, skews and what have you. And then on this side, it shows everything that comes in this box. So that's pretty cool as well. And underneath, you get some legal. Now, the actual packaging for him is here. And this looks really cool. I like the overall look to this. It has that very retro look to it, obviously. So first, you get this nice open window so you can see him. You got the Evil Horde logo there, his name, retro play, and then you got all these different poses and shapes that you could do with him. 34 body parts to create thousands of monsters. So that's pretty neat. I do like that. Got the Mattel logo here. All right. Shift it like this. Up here, you got the Ultimate Transformation Creature, Masters of the Universe, 40 years of She-Ra. If you look at the top, it's just a continuation of your explosion. All right. Spinning around like this. You got a few more different ways you can do him. Masters of the Universe, Modulok. Okay. Now, here's the most interesting part of this box. I want to get a really good look at this. So this art here, which is obviously really nice, you got this really cool picture of him up in the front. And now you got a mix of a whole bunch of different things. So you got your Princess of Power figures. And then you got a couple of people I haven't seen before, like the female rock person. I remember the original Rock Lords, there was just two of them. You know, so it looks like they're adding a third, which is pretty cool. You have her here. I guess she's a Princess of Power character. The same with this scorpion looking dude. I like how he looks. He looks really cool. Then you got the other one up there. So I'm interested to see if these are going to be new figures that are going to be part of either the Masters of the Universe line or Princess of Power. So I'm looking forward to that. You got She-Ra down here with the Horde guard. So a lot of really cool stuff is going on this packaging. So that's really neat. Now you got a little bit about him here. You got your 3 ways of play. So this is talking about how you can change him around. This is him with his weapons. Now this is the neat part. So he comes with a tool that pulls out his ball joints. Now obviously the original figure didn't have that because it wasn't as, you know, in depth as this one did. It didn't have ball joints and stuff. It's just like a little peg that you pop the arms on and off. So this is going to be interesting to see how that works. Spin them around here. You got your Masters of the Universe logo. Some more different poses you could do with this figure. All right. And underneath you got Masters of the Universe, Modulok, and then your legal. So all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. All right, so here he is out of packaging. He looks pretty much as you would expect him to look. He has like a whole lot of different ports and stuff on this body just to begin with. So we're going to start with the rotation. All right, so we spin him around to this side. You can see that he has like this claw-like armored arm, which looks pretty cool. I do like that. Not a whole lot going on with the back, though. You do have this little ball here for adding extra stuff to him. Come around here. The arm is set up pretty much the same. And then, of course, when you get to the front, your legs have that green detail into it. And both heads have your standard, iconic heads. So these are the two iconic heads that came just like the original one. So now let's start looking at his points of articulation. So the heads do move. All right, you got a swivel here. You got a shoulder joint. All right, you got an elbow joint. And you got a wrist joint. All right, you got a dorsal joint here. Spin them around here. You got a thigh joint, a knee joint. You got a swivel at the top of the leg, or the calf, actually. Sorry about that. And then you have an ankle joint. So everything works pretty well on him. I don't have any issues with the way he looks and his body parts. Like I said, he's pretty much standard. There's not a whole lot of real unique detailing to go through with him. All right, so now this is going to be the point to where this character shines, and that's all these different pieces, parts, and what have you. So let's start looking at some of this stuff. So first off, he comes with this. Now they kind of have this set up as a shield, but these open spots are meant to pull out the ball joints. So we're going to see how well that works. All right, but like I said, it's some sort of shield, which is nice because this is a functional tool, also meant to look like part of his armament. So I like how they did that. All right, he has his double cannon. So you have this side here, and then this side, and then they could just fit together like this. All right. Or it actually looks like, if you wanted to, for some reason, you can also hook them together like this, too. All right. So they may have done that for like something like a claw hand. So maybe it could hook onto something like this. I don't know. Just a thought. All right, now let's start getting into all these pieces. So he comes with 4 other legs. So he has this one here. Now this matches these arms. All right, got that one. And then you got the other one. All right. You have 2. They look like a Skeletor style, merman style because of how the feet are. They have this dark discoloration on the top. And the legs all have the same points of articulation. So you do have your knee, your swivel, and then your toe. All right. Matter of fact, back to these ones. Here's your knee, your swivel, and then your toe. All right. And this is your other leg right here. All right. He has an extra set of arms. These are basic human arms. All right. And that too has an elbow and a wrist. All right. This is the other one here. All right. He comes with 2 of these double joints. So I'm calling this a double joint because what it is you put ball socket here, then you can do like 2 joints coming off that way. All right. Here's the other one. All right. It comes with, I guess I would call them extenders. So they're extensions. So if you want something to extend from something, you can. Like maybe if you're putting a whole bunch of legs on one side, and you might have to have one set extended. So you have that option as well. Here's the other one. Okay. You have a couple body parts. So you have this one, which kind of looks like an insect thorax. Right. You have a middle section. And then you do have a reptilian tail. Alright. You also have two, I guess you could call these ball joint extensions, because you have the ball joint at the end opposed to the other one that's just an open end. Or if you're dealing in mechanical and construction forms, it'd be the male and the female. So this would have a male end. That one has a female end. And then here. And then last but not least, you got all these ball connectors. I haven't pulled them out of the plastic just because whatever I don't use, I don't want to pull out of here because I don't want to get any of them lost. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller ones, 2 mediums, and a large. So I will be pulling them out and putting them in as we go along. All right. So we're going to just basically look how some of this stuff works and hooks onto them. We're not going to get into all sorts of crazy, forms because of the factor. As you saw on the box, showed pictures of just hundreds of different forms, and it even says you could do thousands. But we're just going to check and see what works and what doesn't with them. So first off, let's spin them around to the back. And let's try this tail. All right. All right. So it looks like that's on like that. A little bit of a gap, but it is there and it works. All right. Let's try these 2 insect body parts. All right. So that pops on like that. That's meant to pop. And I guess this is where one of those longer ball joints might work. I'm going to pull one. Oops. So I don't want to lose the thing, and then I'm losing it. All right. So that goes in there like this. Oh, where's that tool? I guess you use the tool, push it in. All right. Looks like that's in. And then you got your other part here. All right. So that looks to be that. All right. That moves. That moves. And then that moves. All right. We're going to put all the legs on here. So let's do these ones. All right. That popped on there pretty easily. All right. All right. That popped on pretty easily. Try these legs. All right. And now, where's the other leg? There it is. All right. So all these legs pop on pretty well. Now, I'm not putting any of them on perfectly just because I'm trying to do this quickly. This one don't want to go all the way in for some reason. All right. What the hell's wrong with this one? All right, there it goes. It's in there. All right. So as you can see, the legs do work with these different body parts. All right, you'll play with them, just to get them perfect. Like I said, I'm basically just doing this for demonstration purposes to show that, hey, yeah, this does work. All right. So let's pop this head off. All right. Let's try to do a solo head here. So if you just want one head on there, pops on pretty easily. No issues. You won't use one of these extensions for whatever reason. All right. Now he has a longer neck. All right. Pop that off. Now here's some more of those body extensions here. Where's this tool thing? All right. I wonder if to some level you have to use heat on some of this stuff. Which wouldn't surprise. Oh, okay, I see. Wait a minute, I'm doing something wrong here. That don't go in there like that. That's what. Oops. These goofy things are for. Okay. So what this has is it has a nub here, and that's meant to go into like the body socket. So get this in here like that. All right. So see how that's meant to go into the body, just like that. And I guess these guys can pop in there like this. All right, you could get your cannons now. Have a cannon in this arm. Eventually, like that. So that works with that hand. Here, let's get another one of these. All right, put it in one of these ones. It's here. Pop that on there. And put this arm here because, you know, we're some unholy god monster that, you know. All right. Put that gun in there. So the guns do fit with each hand. All right. And this goofy thing should probably fit in here. All right. So if you want them to kind of have a a shield, do that just as well. All right. So a lot of this stuff can move around, switch and swap. All right. Pull him off of there. All right. So let's see how well this tool works. So we're going to use this tool to pull this barbell out of there. So what it's designed to do is just fit up under the head and then pull. All right. So that makes it a lot easier to use. I might even keep this thing around for some of my other figures. So that way you're not sitting there trying to fight with the ball to get it out. So I think that's actually a pretty useful tool. I like this tool that comes with them. So, you know, you just use that. It connects onto the head, pops it, and it looks like it's for either size. So, you know, just pops it off. So that's not an issue. So everything works pretty well with him. I don't have any issues with this. Like I said, I'm not going to get into 100 different forms with this guy just because of the factor his whole stick is to be changing into millions of different forms. So I would literally be here all day trying to get it. So I tried at least one of everything. Everything seems to work, swap out pretty decent like. Put this head on him. I'll even take that off of there. Let's have some fun with this guy. Let's get one of these ball pieces here. Pop that in there. Get him to have a head like this. And the arms don't. Oh, yes, it can. Do this. Now you got this guy. So, yeah, so even if you want to do some sort of, you know, it hurts to exist type creature, you could do that as well. You can do whatever you want with this. I don't know. Look at me, I'm the floating tail, I mean. So, like they said, there's billions of combinations you could do with this. It all swaps out pretty easily. I didn't have any issues swapping things out. Now, what would have been a real bummer with this, and I'm glad I didn't have to do it, was if it was one of those ones that you would have to use heat to swap things around. then I would feel like that would null and void the whole play feature of this, because that would just make it even more of a pain. But nah, everything swapped out pretty well without heat, so I'm actually happy with this figure the way it is at this point. All right, so my final thoughts on this figure is I think he's great. I think he captures everything that the original Modulok figure was, with all the different poses, all the different arms, legs, odds and ends, and whatever. So he definitely captures the overall feel from the original figure. So I really do like that about this guy. The other thing is I really like the shield thing that they gave him that you could pop the joints out with. That is very useful, because sometimes, as any of us collectors know, those ball joints get stuck in there and you want to pull it out, but you don't want to use like pliers or something and damage the figure. So I think it's a neat idea that they gave him this, knowing that people are going to be taking them apart, putting them back together. So I think that's a nice addition to him. All his joints move very well. Don't have any issues with that. All the pieces come on and off. Fairly simple. Didn't have no issues. One or two parts I had to work it a little bit to get it in. But for the most part, everything pops on and off pretty easily. The same with his weapons. They do the same. So overall, I really would recommend this figure. If you were a big fan of the original toy, I think you would appreciate this figure as well. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.